Hi guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. So this came up in my recommended, and this is from a guy called Chase Saldate, and he has been trained by Daniel Cormier, because Daniel trains wrestling teams, and he's been trained by Daniel Cormier, and through Daniel he got to train with Khabib and Islam, and they were filmed by a creator called I Am the Bay, and he would film them all training at AKA, and a couple of their videos have gone viral, and one of these training periods with Chase went viral. What was it, the Dagestani snap or something like that? So this is just my reaction to this kid Chase talking about training with Khabib and Islam, and him discussing who is the better wrestler. I mean, I'd also like to hear that from Daniel as well, but it's going to be nice to hear this from Chase's perspective also. So let's take a look.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be answering the question that everybody asked me: who is better?
Of course, that was some years ago, because I think back then he looked like he was like 14 or so when he was wrestling Islam and Khabib. He was quite young. Now he looks like 16, 17. He looks a bit older now
At wrestling, Khabib,
so this was years ago when they trained together.
or Islam? So we're gonna jump into this right away. So I got some clips here. This is the first clip we're gonna talk about. It's me. It's just gonna kind of be playing here. Me and Khabib wrestling. So Bilal Muhammad said this perfectly: Islam will let you try new things, and he won't go full 100% on you right away. He kind of lets you work in certain situations, and when he feels kind of threatened in certain situations, or feels like he's going to get taken down, he will, ramp it up and then give you a better look, and most likely end up finishing and taking you down. Khabib, on the other hand, is more ruthless. He comes from a different area where his point of view is just, I'm going to go very hard and beat you up, and you're going to learn that way, which is perfectly fine. That's the way I grew up. Was I would have somebody older than me just absolutely beat me up, take me down, cut me,
But how does that help?
me down, cut me, and then I would get a lot tougher and better in that situation. Now I kind of in college do more of the Islam approach. I have my coaches give me a look, let's say 40%, and then from there, in certain situations they'll give me 60%, 70%, and kind of go from there. Now, when it comes to just freestyle wrestling as a whole, because you gotta remember they did Sambo, it's not freestyle wrestling. I would say, let's go back, let's pull up some Islam clips now.
He's doing quite well, considering he's facing one of the best wrestlers in the world, as MMA wrestlers rather.
Better freestyle wrestler, even though I haven't seen them compete, I would say Islam would be more than like.
Off topic, I just saw Islam's dad, and Islam looks nothing like his dad. Like, Khabib looks a little like his dad, but Islam looks nothing like his father, so I do wonder what Islam's mother looks like.
How would I say this? More than likely to have more success than Khabib would in freestyle realm itself. Reason for that being is because I believe his takedown defense and his offense is, as far as freestyle wrestling, not MMA wrestling, and his top bottom game as far as, let's say, a gut wrench or something in that scenario, Islam is a little more talented at and has a little bit more better hips and feel in those situations. Now, if we were talking MMA wrestling, which is a completely different sport in my eyes, they go hand in hand, but they are very different, because in MMA wrestling you can just go get a takedown, and then you could do the Khabib, lock up his legs, ground and pound, kind of turns into more grappling. And in MMA wrestling, people don't have shoes. Okay, when you're wrestling in freestyle, you could shoot, you can really, they use that as grip. When they turn and kick, you can grab their shoe, pull them in. But when they do that in MMA in a fight, that doesn't happen. They just slip right out. Now, when talking about MMA wrestling, I would say Khabib is a better MMA wrestler in the sense that when he does take you down, I think their takedowns as a whole are pretty much equal. Maybe, I don't really know who to pick in that scenario. as far as who's better at getting takedowns, because I think they're both very talented. They're both very talented at scrambling. That is very well known. When it comes to who's better, I'm not sure.
I have to say, Islam looks like he's having more fun than Khabib. Khabib looks like he's taking it more seriously.
Sure.
Whereas, you know, Islam is just like, this is a training session, let's just have fun today.
But when it comes to ground and pound type wrestling from the mat, I would say Khabib, because he does very well. He likes to lock their legs in between his legs, figure four the leg, and ground and pound, kind of like what he's done against.
Chase is very tenacious. Holy shit.
Well, everybody.
Very tenacious.
So that,
wow, he's not giving up, and they're off the mat at this point.
that is huge.
Oh my god.
Islam, on the other hand,
there's Daniel there.
we have seen him.
Jesus, he grappled him off the mat.
Down Alexander Volkanovski. He submitted Charles Oliveira, and he has very high level of wrestling, even in the MMA style. We'll go back to this clip, and you guys can just let Khabib beat me up for a little bit. But we did see Volk kind of get some escapes, which shout out to Volk for being strong. When you're strong, shorter, your center mass is a little different. It is very hard to wrestle somebody and keep them down that is short, explosive. And when you're longer than them, and say he wanted to do the figure four that Khabib does, it's a lot harder to extend and get your hips in that figure four move, because his legs are a lot shorter. Now, would Khabib have been able to take down Volkanovski and hold him down? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that scenario. That is a little out of my knowledge, I would say. But I'm not taking anything away from Islam in the sense, because Volk got out. We all know Volk is amazing.
Yeah, Chase is gone. He's not getting out of that.
Amazingly talented and one of the best, if not the best, pound for pound
he's tapped
fighter right now on the roster. I'm just using that as an example. I mean, Conor McGregor.
Oh, he got up. Wow.
Gave Khabib a little bit of scramble in certain situations. But just because somebody's scrambling and just because somebody's getting an escape here or there doesn't mean they're not good at something.
Come on, wow.
Okay.
He got up.
There's
now
going to
he's
be
trying to grapple Khabib.
times when people that aren't very talented at wrestling sometimes can get their hips out, get an escape, and give up one. That doesn't mean you're not good at taking them down or on top or in UFC. Or MMA doesn't mean that you're not good at MMA wrestling as a whole. So that doesn't play too big of a factor for me. But when it really boils down to it, as a whole, who is better at wrestling as a whole?
I think he's gonna say Khabib. Chase did really well. I haven't seen these videos in a long time, but he did really well. He did out-scramble Khabib. He can actually say that.
I think I like my idea and my answer of, from my personal knowledge, now this could be wrong.
Now he's going to make him tap.
From my personal experience with the two, I would say Islam is a more talented freestyle wrestler. Okay. If they went in and competed in freestyle events, I think Islam would have more success. Khabib is a better MMA wrestler. I think when he gets his takedowns, he's better on the mat and grappling than Islam is. And I'm not saying this is by a lot. It's not a landslide. We could be saying Khabib is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 low numbers, single digit numbers, percentage better than Islam in that scenario.
So they're both good.
Just as the same as Islam is 1 to 5% better than Khabib in a freestyle aspect. Now, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to go back to AKA and when Islam and them are down, because I have wrestled with Usman. Usman Nurmagomedov is a completely different story. If you guys want me to talk about that, that is not on video, but I have trained with Usman, I've trained with Umar a little bit. I'm pretty much a lot of them, but I'm excited to eventually go back.
I mean, he's so privileged, you know, and that's all through Daniel Cormier. He's so privileged to be able to do that. How many, teenage wrestlers can say that they've grappled with some of the best MMA wrestlers in the world? He's got to get on his hands and knees and thank Daniel for those experiences.
And wrestle Islam, and I hope I would have to be really good. I'm a lot better than I was in these clips now. I mean, these are 4 years ago.
Yeah, these are a good few years ago. He was what? He looked like 13, 14 when he was facing these dudes. And now he looks 17, 18. So it's a good 3-4 years.
I want to see what Islam feels like at full 100%.
No, you don't. It's like, Chase, no, you don't.
Okay. Now,
you don't want any of these dudes at 100%. What are you talking about?
Seen Islam beat pretty, significantly in person. This isn't on video. Be a NCAA champion that year, and Islam came in, wrestled him, and they were around the same weight class, give or take 10, 15 pounds. They were around, if they cut, they'd be in the same weight class. Islam did not get dominated. Islam was actually winning a majority of the goes against a NCAA champion that year, a couple months before this person won NCAAs. And Islam was right there taking it to this person. Not just hey, we're even. No, Islam was getting the majority of the wins, the majority of the takedowns, which is insane for somebody that doesn't come from a big, huge freestyle and folk style wrestling background.
Yeah, but they come from a Sambo background.
So, like I said before, I think Islam is a better freestyle wrestler. I think Khabib is a better MMA wrestler. But as a whole, it's not a big difference between the two. Now, I can't wait, and I hope I get the opportunity one day to wrestle Islam in his 100% feel, because I believe here, with this Khabib video, this wasn't even 100% feel. This was probably 30% feel. And Islam was probably 20 and 30% feel. So if I ever get the opportunity to have them just absolutely maul me for 3 to 5 minutes, I think I can handle.
You don't want that, though.
3 to 5 minutes, then I will report back to you with an updated thing. But
and video proof.
From my knowledge that I got, the 20 to 30% of effort I got from the two, from the personal viewing that I have seen from the two of them in practice, of them in their fights, I think that's Khabib is a better MMA wrestler and Islam is a better freestyle wrestler. However, the difference is very little, to where wrestling them and fighting them, you're not going to notice the difference unless you're somebody like Alexander Volkanovski, for a sense, or somebody of that kind of caliber, where a 1 or 2 seconds of riding time of holding them down would be a factor. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this guy's kind of helped you out in kind of understanding the difference between the two.
Not really, Chase, but the clips have been good, and your point of view has been interesting to listen to.
Overall, these dudes are insanely high-level wrestlers. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he didn't do this earlier. Like when the stuff was going viral, and now he's got a YouTube channel. He's got, if you liked what you see, he's got 24.8 thousand subs. So yeah, I think that's a good video. Basically, Islam and Khabib are both talented at MMA and freestyle. That's it. I don't think they should go 100% on you though, because I don't think you're ready for that. I don't think anybody's ready for that. But thank you, Chase, for the insight. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thank you for listening.